В предишния епизод на Камифуда, поредният ми опит да си почина се оказа безуспешен. Бях завлечен без предупреждение през портал в стаята на професор Ихарам, където беше и дъщеря му Зенфрея. Оказа се, че по погрешка професорът ми е дал картите на покойната му съпруга и 7 настоятелно си ги иска. За да уважим древната традиция, тя трябваше да ме бие в дуел, за да може да възстанови загубените си карти. За нейна жалост обаче се оказа, че нейните умения не могат да се сравнят с тези на един своеобразен бог на Камифуда. Продължаваме по основната история, която ще ни отведе в клуба по Камифуда. Мисля, че няма друго, което да пропускам, да. Така да бъде. I draw a smidge of frost magic into the palm of my hand, courtesy of my lessons with Evie. Maybe I want something to chill the air, or maybe it's just the desire to feel anything but the volatile embrace of fire. The shopkeeper's ring weighs heavy on my finger, and though I've had few unprovoked jumps through time since he gifted me the artifact, I still find my dreams plagued by the embrace of an inferno. So I channel the ambient eldritch energy into a quick beam of white and blue. Except this time I attempt to curb the cast, letting it dwindle as it crosses the room. It doesn't work. Dueling the walls now? Let me guess, you're growing tired of smacking around the rest of us. Lone? Thanks for coming. Of course, my man. But what's this about anyway? We didn't have another training session scheduled for a couple of more days. Yes, well, I become abundantly aware that I've been unconsciously and with great frequency fucking with time. And worse, I have no idea how to stop. A strange eldritch being in a bow tie told me I'm racing against the clock before the powers of my pact master consume me. Or worse, the pale hosts decide I'm not worth keeping around. But of course, I can't tell him that. I just really need to work on my spell control. I hope you don't mind. I don't, but is something going on? There is. I'm sorry, I can't really say. It has to do with why I was even brought here. Got it? Well, I appreciate the candor. And look, just remember, we are here if you need us. I know. It's why I dragged you out here in the middle of the night. Well then, if you want to witness the strength of thaumaturgy, who am I to deny it? Draw your cards. Your newbie pass is officially expired. From here on out, I'm not pulling any punches. I hope you can back that up. I hope he can't, really, but... Така, сега. Тази карта, между другото, може да ми осигури доста добра схема. Въпросът е колко кръв точно искам да жертвам за това. Трябва да изградя ново тесте. Това започва да става малко тегавко. Може би ако изкарам всичките кръвни карти. Ма те кръвните карти ми носят играта, честно. В смисъл, ако ги няма тях, какво правя? Всъщност сега да пробвам да си ги върна. Какво беше другото? Ох, какво беше, което извадиха и сега току-що? Не е оферинг. Life Leech, може би. Точно така. Не, нямам вече, да. Може би ще направя друго тесте. Единичката не е лоша. Срещу тавматургия сякаш бях го бил с нещо такова. Това ли беше тавматургията? Чуя се с какво да подходя. Дейхо Дивауър. Да го подкарам с тях. Евентуално. Унищожа магия Каталайз. Така, инсенс. All One Energy Spells from Resting. Между другото, това не е толкова лош вариант. Мозъченството. За инстант. Rune of Power Catalyze. Добре. Интересно ми е, ако подкарам с малко повече инстант. Инстантки. Incense 2 е така. Fire Nova също. Incense 3. Catalyze 6. Много добре. Hits opponent gain 1 influence. Magic Missile. Ritualizer. Path of Fire Ritual gain 1 influence. Добре. Като цяло Draw 2 spells gain 1 focus. За този ритуал е доста добре. Мога да пробвам с някакво ново тесте, че ми е интересно какво ще стане. 4 ритуала само обаче. Ritualizer, пресечем толкова малко ритуали, няма да ми е полезен. Трябва ми начин да тегля карти. Айде да пробваме това. Да видим какво ще стане. Сигурно ще ме разбие, между другото. Така го чувствам, защото това е нещо, което не съм играл. You ready for a real duel, Tarot? You bet I am. Abandon gains 7 inhibit. Любимото ми. Поне ще оставя карта на полето. Obliterate. I won't let you walk my deck away. Shit. Тук малко ме поизненада той. Нямам какво да направя. Legendary Unbreakable Obliterate. Чудно. Склон ли съм загубя 30 между другото? Склонен съм. Мачка и кобра! Айде! Сега ще видим какво ще стане. Инфлуенс 1. Това може да е трагично, може и да е перфектно. You're fighting completely differently. Looking away my deck. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, Tarot. In this case, taking away all those cards you like hitting me with. Inhibit 7. Чу си сега Catalyze ли да направя? Хайде Catalyze. Hits opponent gains 1 influence. Стискаме палци да няма с какво да ми играе. Аз няма с какво си възстановя живота и ще ме разбие сигурно до края. Obliterate. Damn. Петнайсет. Ще загубя едно резерв, което няма никакво значение. Ще изтегля. Какво ще изтегля? Това, което е ритуал и изисква нещо. Няма да мога да го бия. Мамка му загубих. Нищо. Не беше толкова лош матч. I feel the eldritch heat rising in my blood. The temporal fires ignite and I'm pulled minutes back to face my opponent again. I click my tongue. Another failed attempt to resist. Добре, сега какво мога да направя? Може би нещо, което да го атакува с инстантна смърт. Obliterate или нещо такова. Чудя се между другото и по-скоро са Desolate неща, не Obliterate. Desolate. Просто аз имам ли как да задържа кръвта си по-висока? Desolate за сметка на какво? Инсенс е така. Тия нулички са страхотни, ама тия не съм ги използвал толкова често. Изчу дали не е по-добра идея. Е така интрал. Нека да пробвам това. Малко по-смесено тесте, ама да видим. 22 назад съм. Първи ход. I hope all those victories haven't gone to your head, нали казва той. Obliterate. Нямам десолет, с който да му отговоря. Което значи трябва да пусна демиджа, най-вероятно. Чудесно. Changing it up. Nice try. I won't let you walk my deck away. Вау! Добре, кои са двата ритуала, които трябва да минат? Това трябва да мине задълже. И това трябва да мине, според мен. Това няма смисъл да се го разбивам. Бати ужаса. Още в началото ма погреба тежко. Elder Mansi, you'd best be careful with that. Despite what Vic's nonchalant attitude might suggest, her discipline can carry dire consequences. Чудесно. Unbreakable беше, това беше тъпа идея. Дали ще мога да дръпна някой ритуал да мине? Нямам ритуали там. I'm fine. Нека да извадя от гроба. Айде! Погребвай! Едно фокус. Би трябвало да съм добре между другото този ход. You are fighting completely differently. Locking away my deck. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, Tarot. In this case, taking away all those cards you like hitting me with. Добре. Няма значение. Шест каталайз. Бах ти, облитерейт. Това е 3. Се чуя дали... Ако го ударя с тези 3, ще ми разбие магията. Имам ли къв ритуал да мине? Следващия ход Инсенс 2. Incense Reclaim. You've got to think quicker, buddy. If this were a real duel, you'd be vaporized. Yeah, I just need a moment. Това е инстант за едно. Имам някакъв шанс. Не. Ой, инсенс така ще остана с девятка. Просто какво правим, ако стане така? Complete gain one influence. Дали си струва one influence? Не си струват ритуалите на този етап, май. Това беше тъпа грешка. Не беше. Ой. Мисля, че съм в адекватна позиция. Не мога да кажа добра, но адекватна. Obliterate. Desolate Obliterate. Obliterate на 18. Контра от моя страна. Desolate Obliterate. Четворка. Четворка. Сметка на моята тройка. Би трябвало да го бия. 4, той ще ме бие, ако не направя нищо по въпрос с неговата карта. Девятка, не, няма да го бия, ако му вкарам това. По-добре да вкарам една нуличка и така по него. Другия вариант е... Не. Сега той остава с едно демидж. Ой, бих. Това е моята победа. Yes. Still holding your own. Yep. I still do. Много добре. Добре си адаптирах стратегията аз като цяло. Shit, I still lost. In your defense, seems like you got a few bad draws there. True, but that's beside the point. You've gotten strong, man. I took some time this week to weed out some of the weaker cards from my deck. You faced a much tougher version of my deck than before. And you still plowed through my thaumaturgic defenses all the same. I take a moment to shuffle my cards back into my deck. Back into my case. Loon isn't wrong, but the edge I have in each of these duels is exactly the problem. I've got to figure out how to ward off these jumps. A few more rounds, please? Alright, man. Just cause you asked nicely. Окей, няма проблем. Така. Нека да съберем картите от другите хора. Добре. О, интересно. Да им магазинера, какво ще ми каже пък сега? Така... Abandon. Wow, Agonizing Vehemence. Legendary Finality Initial. Completes gain Agonizing Vehemence 1. Whenever a sorcery deals damage to you, gain Influence 1. Окей, това е скандално. Това срещу Poison Тестето ще бъде скандално. Това е картата. Това е картата. Gain Shield, you lose to Reserve. Интересно. Каква полза от това нещо? Summoning Fire Ritual Legendary Initial completes Gain Influence 3. Bewitchment Finality completes. Opponent gains Weakened 1. Така. Подсилвам си огненото тесте. Не са много посилните карти, често казано. Mind, така, да взема този Gain Shield. Някакъв такъв инстант с 0 е все пак. Backing Glomrod. Знаете, инстантите с 0 са ми ценни. Нека да проверим счупения печат. Трисела, какво ще каже? I had a feeling I'd find you here. Glomrod's halls are especially cold today. It is easy to see my breath as I greet her. Likewise. I looked for you after our last meeting. I made myself scarce. Understatement of the year. I apologize. Well, that's novel. After the incident with my echo catch, I had much to reflect on. Long silences when speaking with three aren't unusual. Typically though, they stem from her hollow, stone-faced stares. Today those silences feel anxious. I didn't just pass out, you know, at least I don't think so. I saw things, as did I. Were they real? I've considered that question this past week. And I think our only avenue of confirmation lies with one another. I nod in agreement. So, what came to you in the darkness? We were talking here, and then I remember being completely surrounded by darkness. It felt cold and lonely, completely empty of anything and everything. Anyway, I was drifting along and I came upon a hospital bed. It was occupied by a young girl, maybe 10 or 11. She was very ill. I sat by her backside and we talked for a while about her family and... Well, I'm not positive, but I think that girl was supposed to be you three. Or at least she seemed a lot like you, give or take a decade. I suspect you did indeed meet a version of myself. An image perhaps taken either from a moment in my past or an extrapolation of my memories. You really think so? I spent many years in the hospital as a child, and given what I saw within my own journey in the echo catch, it seems most plausible that we interacted with some alternative version of one another. When I awoke, I was not in darkness, but a storm thick with snowdrift. The whiteout was so thick it was nearly impossible to navigate. But after a time, I came to a solitary house in the storm. It was derelict, wood blackened and destroyed, crumbled to ash long ago lost in the snow. In the center waited a small boy curled beneath a hole-riddled wool blanket. He was very sweet. He even offered me his own blanket to shield myself from the storm. I asked him about the fire and it was Mitri, or something close to me. She nods solemnly, as I suspected. Though that does pose the question, have you any memories of a stranger speaking to you in your youth? No, and my house did burn down, but I can't say I recall sleeping in its burnt ruins in the middle of blizzard. Nor I staying in the hospital while surrounded by a sea of darkness. The pair of us fidget deep in thought, nearly in unison. What does that mean then? I have two theories, though the latter is surely impossible. If there is anything I've come to learn since I've arrived at Glomrod, it's to be ready to accept the impossible. She takes a moment to look me over, head to toe. Despite our strange star-crossed experience, I cannot help but feel a sense of distance between us, or rather a distance between her and everything else. Tree turns her back on me for a moment. She stands in the shadow of the broken seal, and like my strange fantastical vision, the darkness envelops her readily. What would you do, Tarot, if you believed you could fix it? Oh, fix what? The fire, my old house? My brother? Well, I can't very well go back. Go back in time. Could I? Could I change it one day? Could I change it all one day? The shopkeeper seems to believe time itself will eventually be my domain. Or at least it's my pact master's, which I suppose lends me some of its leeway. But does that mean I could really go that far back, a single choice to make everything different? No, we cannot return and alter the outcomes of our lives despite how fiercely we may desire it. You are correct. But change does not solely imply erasing what's happened. Perhaps instead, if you could influence what was to come. You are telling me to become a firefighter? The hoses seem fun and all, but honestly, I don't think I'm chiseled enough for the calendars. It is only a fraction of a beat, but I catch the faintest hint of worry in her face before it returns to stone. Might I recommend we seek a change of scenery? I shrug. I don't mind, this place is creepy anyway. Of course. She leads me through Glomrod's winding halls. All the while she is quiet, faceless to the point of being unnerving. I don't understand her cold veneer. In many ways, I think I'm the opposite, which I suppose doesn't bode well for me ever breaking through. As the minutes drone on, I realize the paths she takes are unfamiliar to me. By the time I notice we've arrived just outside Glomrod's central courtyard, I realize we've done so in half the time it would have taken me. The courtyard is abandoned once again, a perfect picture of solace beneath the twilight. I watch Tree walk to the center, where she bends over and delicately picks up a small rock among the cobblestones. She cradles the stone in her hand and breathes on it lightly, blowing a strange amber mist into its surface. Then she skips it lightly across the fountain. It bounces nearly a dozen times, glowing with that amber light, before finally sinking into the fountain's dark waters, though she bears no smile for her efforts. I think what we experienced was not a figment of the past, but a projection from within ourselves, a shard of persons created from formative experiences to our psyche, one without the defenses we would otherwise unconsciously display in our day-to-day. Our defenses? We all have defenses, Tarot. Some merely play soft lines for those brazen enough to cross in the sand. Others build vast fortresses to conceal vaulted secrets to their darkling souls. I try to be an open book when I can. I have noticed that. To be honest, I find it odd. Odd? How so? I simply find it strange that you would be so open with people, considering how much you have to hide. And I I suppose there's little point in hiding much about my time before Glomrod to you any longer. I was a very sick child. For a long time. My parents did what they could to upkeep my medical needs, but over the years the strain it placed on them was paramount. They and my sister, the struggle of the debt, the burden of the constant hospitalizations, the knowledge that said lifestyle would continue for years until an eventual end. It destroyed them. I'm faced with flashes of my own parents. Dad silently drinking in the kitchen, Mom sitting in a cold shower, fully clothed and weeping. Nothing was ever the same after Mary's funeral. I hope you know that isn't your fault, Tree. You were ill and I never said it was, Tarot. And yet I know why you felt the need to say as much. You feel responsible for Mary's death. Because it was my fault. I stoked the fireplace and then fell asleep without closing the guard. The embers or coals or whatever started it all. They called the living room carpet because of me. The fire happened because of me. And Mary died for it. Yes. Her reply is like a knife in my heart. One honestly I didn't expect, even if I do agree. As was it the fault of an absent father, whom did not properly supervise a child of only 9, or a prideful mother who had quit her profession because she taught herself about the mundanities of work in retail, and thereby forced the financial troubles which led to your family's heat being disconnected, and the need of the fireplace at all. One might even say it was the fault of your brother Merritt. What did you say? Once so noble, he fled back into the house to collect the family pet without regard to his family's well-being, should he be unable to return. Take that back. Oh? Does that anger you? Say what you will about my parents, but it is anything but Mary's fault. Our lives are our own faults, Tarot, as are they the faults of those who shaped our life's experiences. To be human is to struggle in the dirt and the muck, until one day we die and we are released from this existence to return to the world's perpetual dust, only to cease to be human itself, to become something else entirely, would free us from that truth. I take it from the look upon your face that you do not agree. No, I can't say that I do. And if I was still speaking with that little girl resting in the hospital bed who smiled at a simple favor of a stranger holding her hand, I don't believe she'd agree with you either. As I said, that thing you spoke with was not me, and that was a long time ago besides. Is that all you wanted from this echo catch experiment then? Some veiled excuses to philosophize at me? Tree breaks the cadence. She takes more than a moment to respond. I would like to ask you a favor, Tarot. A favor? I would like you to use the echo catch with you one more time. You do? Why? My experiments have proved unsuccessful with every subject outside of your own influence. I can only theorize why that is, but... 3. I sigh. God, sometimes you are worse than Vix, you know. Pardon? All the bullshit you spew. I don't mind venturing into the echo catch with you. You don't? No, Tree. Though a little advice. Next time you invite a guy to join you in some surreal dreamlike adventure into what could possibly be the past, maybe buy him dinner first. Is that a common tradition in your hometown? You know, I can't even tell if you're just dense or are actually fucking with me. The corners of her mouth twitch a nigh imperceptible amount. Let me know when you figure it out. The pair of us split to go about our day, though not before Tree relays that she'll reach out about the echo catch again soon. There are, according to her, preparations to make, though what those might be, she doesn't say. But I, for one, have had enough vague answers for one day, so I'll wait patiently and hope she brings me a lasagna this time. You know, as payment for my smiling face or something. Това беше и края на този епизод. Следващия ще продължи с достата събития, които изглежда се появиха.